If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at vinsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is a community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft. Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go on the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed. A child shall lead. I am so fascinated by this religion. River says, he said, Heimdall is not a god I work with, so I'll have to get back. Like, they pick gods to work with, or do the gods pick you? Or do you pick them?
Which was the message?
Where it was Riv. Riv said, I'm not familiar with Heimdall because I don't work with him or something like that.
Yeah, that's a good question. I assumed people picked him because there's so many different gods. Like
yeah, right there. He says Heimdall isn't a god I work with, so I know less about him than I. That's so fascinating. And then you had homegirl say that she Loki's. So do they choose you,
yeah,
or do you choose them? I think that's so fascinating. I will get to you. I'm on some real shit. Okay.
Okay, ready for song number 2?
Song numero dos.
This song is chosen by the big homie Mojo.
Mojo! Oh, Mojo! I think Mojo's in the house, isn't he? I'm pretty sure I saw him. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
James
Sorry for interrupting.
McMurtry, Choctaw Bingo. James McCartney.
Isn't that a Choctaw? Isn't that a indigenous tribe?
McMurtry.
Choctaw?
I would never go out there trying to say something like that publicly because you could be very wrong.
Okay.
And then...
What's wrong with being wrong? We're not allowed to be... Oh, that's right. We're not allowed to be wrong anymore.
You can't be wrong on topics like that.
Why?
Because it can come out looking like you're mocking.
Man, I don't care about that shit. People know.
People, Choctaw Bingo.
People know me.
Yeah, but if they clip a short of it, all those people don't know you. James McCartney...
This is the world we're in. Holy shit.
Singer-songwriter from Texas. James' father...
I mean, I think you're right. I just think that's just crazy, the world we're in, man.
Was a successful novelist. Larry, his name was Larry. 2 of his more famous novels that you might recognize are The Last Picture Show and Lonesome Dove. Being the son of a successful writer, it's really not a surprise that James would grow up to become a writer himself. It's not easy to describe his music. It's not quite folk, not quite country, and not quite rock. His songs tend to walk a fine line between many genres. All of his songs tend to be a little different from each other, but one thing they do all have in common is the lyrics always paint a picture. Not always pretty, but vivid. Some of his songs are politically charged, but most of them are just observational commentary on the American experience.
Oh boy.
As he has seen it traveling the country as a professional musician since the 80s. Choctaw Bingo is probably his most popular song, and it's a very orthodox song. It has no chorus, and it's just a series of verses that tell a story of for a family reunion.
Okay, see, my man Dwayne
came in, because Dwayne's an indigenous guy. Choctaw are the originals from what is now the Mississippi regions. So, yeah, they were, you know, what do you call it?
Okay.
So I was right. They were the originals.
You're right today.
Yeah.
But 6 months from now, you don't know what the culture is going to say about it.
Yeah, but thank God that I don't care.
The song
I truly don't care. We got 2,000 videos up there, man. If you don't know who we are by now, then I really don't care. We got our crew. We got our little crew.
That's true. Yeah.
They know who we are. We fight like cats and dogs. They know we love them. I know they love us. I don't care about the rest of the world. I truly don't care about the rest of the world, man. I'm good with our crew, for real. Shout out to my village. Let's go. Okay, here we go. Choctaw Bingo.
Am I going to get a chance to finish reading this?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's very hard, huh? This song is centered around Uncle Slayton, but there are several verses about different family members. There are many versions of this song. James tends to take some family member verses out and replace them with verses about other family members. But most of the verses are constant throughout the many versions. This version we're listening to, I think, is the best. It's a live version from a live album released in 2004, live in Oct. 3. This link looks to be a fan-created video, and I believe it to be safe.
Fingers crossed.
Let's go.
All right, so you guys know the deal. We don't do the breakup thing. We don't break it up in the middle of a video. We want you guys to have the full experience. We know other reaction channels do that. Shout out to them. The reason they do that is so that they can keep the AdSense. We don't care about the ad money because we've got this system, so we don't have to worry about that. But sometimes the filthy capitalist record label will still shut us down. Mm-hmm. If you see something that says a stream is suspended, do not check out. Just hang on for 2 minutes. We'll be back. It's a slap on the wrist, okay? All right. Having said that, here we go.
Sometimes they shut down our stream completely.
Sometimes they shut down the stream completely, but we are not afraid. Mostly.
Go big or go home.
Go big or go home. All right, here we go. Choctaw Bingo. Let's do this shit.
All right. We'll start this next set with a song about the North Texas, Southern Oklahoma crystal methamphetamine industry.
Oh my God.
Strap them kids and give them a little bit of vodka and a cherry coke. We're going to Oklahoma to the family reunion for the first time in years. It's up at Uncle Slayton's 'cause he's getting on in years. You know he no longer travels, but he's still pretty spry. There's not much on talking, he's just too mean to die. And they'll be coming down from Kansas and from West Arkansas. It'll be one great big old party like you never saw.
Reminds me of Yellowstone.
Uncle Slayton's got his Texan pride. Back in the thickets with his Asian bride. He's got an Airstream trailer and a Holstein cow. Still makes whiskey 'cause he still knows how. He plays that Choctaw Bingo every Friday night. You know he had to leave Texas, but he won't say why. He owns a quarter section up by Lake Eufaula. Caught a great big old blue cat on a drifting jug line. Sells his hardwood timber to the chipping mill. Cooks that crystal meth because the shine don't sell. He cooks that crystal meth because the shine don't sell. You know he likes that money, he don't mind the smell. My cousin Roscoe, Slayton's oldest boy, second marriage up in Illinois. Raised in East St. Louis by his mama's people, where they do things different. Thought he'd just come on down. He's gone to Dallas, Texas in a semi-truck hauled from that big McDonald's. You know, the one that's built up on that great big old bridge across the Will Rogers Turnpike. Took the big cabin exit, stopped and bought a carton of cigarettes at that Indian smoke shop with the big neon smoke rings in the Cherokee Nation. Hit Muskogee late that night. Somebody ran the stoplight at the Shawnee bypass. Roscoe tried to miss him, but he didn't quite.
Can you clap on rhythm? No, that's not on rhythm. That's not on rhythm. The white man has no rhythm. You're cursed. You're cursed.
Bob and May come up from some little town way down by Lake Texoma, where he coaches football. They were 2A champions now for 2 years of running, but he says they won't be this year. No, they won't be this year. And he stopped off in Tushka at that pop knife and gun place, bought a SKS rifle and a couple full cases of that steel core ammo with the Bear Dam primers from some East Block nation that no longer needs a man. Desert Eagle, that's one great big old pistol. I mean, 50 caliber made by badass Hebrews, and some surplus tracers for that old BAR a slate.
275 in this bitch.
We're gonna have us a time. We're gonna have us a time. Have us a time. Baxter Springs, and that's one hell-raising town way up in southeastern Kansas. Got a biker bar next to the lingerie store that's got the Rolling Stones lips up there in bright pink neon, and they right downtown where everyone can see them, and they burn all night. You know they burn all night. You know they burn all night. Cut off britches and their skinny little halters and their second cousins to me. Man, I don't care. I wanna get between them with a great big old heart on like a old bulldog fence post. You can hang a
I knew he was going there. Sick bastard.
Till the cows come home and we'll be having us a time. Having us a time.
This is a curse that Allah put on you. Your people are so wicked. It's a Farrakhan said, that's why y'all can't dance.
Uncle Slayton's got his Texan pride, back in the thickets with his Asian bride. He's cut that corner pasture into acre lots. He sells them owner financed, strictly to them. It's got no kind of credit because it knows they're slackers and they'll miss that payment. Then he takes it back. He plays that Choctaw bingo every Friday night. He drinks his Johnny Walker at that Club 69. We're gonna strap them kids and give them a little bit of Benadryl and a cherry coke. We're going to Oklahoma, gonna have us a time.
I mean,
have us a time.
I'm not against that. A little bit of Benadryl, is that gonna kill him?
Can't do that.
There isn't children's Benadryl?
Can't do that.
There isn't children's Benadryl? I don't know if they're listening.
Amazon account is up and running now. We are selling our formula officially. It's amazing stuff from Europe.
Made in Germany. Sold in America.
Highest standards there are. In America, the standards haven't been updated since 1980. It's super weird, like older than me. In Europe, they update safety standards basically every year. This formula is top notch, great for the stomach, great for constipation. This is a great product. If you happen to want to purchase it and join us on our journey, then grab the link in the description. If you do and leave a review for us, send me a screenshot at vinandsori@gmail.com of your review after you have received the product. We will put your name in a hat. Song reviews are going to come out by some of the people that have left reviews. Don't forget to send us a screenshot of your review once you get the product. Now a word from our mascot dressed as a pirate, Fuji.
It's a steal of a deal.
Okay, so we're in the midst of a debate here. Shout out to the big homie Chris McDaniel. Well, wait a second here. This is wrong to give the kids some Benadryl to get them to shut up in the back of the car. This is
They actually
like a long road trip.
They actually bring it up. I'm not sure why, but they've brought it up multiple times when I bring kids for their appointments over the years.
What have they brought up?
They make sure that you understand you're not supposed to put anything, you're not supposed to give them anything. Don't give them any Benadryl. Don't give them any. And
Ever?
They specifically
they're never supposed to have Benadryl?
No. They specifically talk about giving kids Benadryl when you want them to sleep.
Well, I think if you make a giant habit of it, like a nightly ritual, yeah. But if you're going on a 3-day road trip, that's bad. They'll die. What will happen?
That's a horrible idea. I would never participate in such a thing.
All right.
Neither would you, for that matter.
Okay, I would never participate in such a thing. Okay.
It's ridiculous.
All right.
They do have motion sickness pills that they probably
Dramamine?
Well, I don't know. No, Dramamine maybe. So if it's for motion sickness and you're going on a long trip.
I had horrible motion sickness.
I think. I don't know.
I had horrible motion sickness as a kid driving. I used to dread it. It literally gave me anxiety.
I used to get pretty sick too, but not like you, and not like Orion.
Yeah, poor Orion. Yeah.
Ever since he was an infant, he gets sick.
We're
right.
going to go on a road trip pretty soon here, inshallah.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Allah. Thank you, honestly.
Yeah.
There's a version of the song where James replaces vodka and Benadryl with Vicodin. Yikes. I got you, Chris. No doubt. We will definitely pray for you. I prayed for one of my friends a couple days ago. The last time we were on the show. And the prayer got answered. So,
yeah, thank you, God.
And then I had somebody else pray for me, and their prayer got answered today in a very real way. So, hey, it works. Feel how you want to feel about it, dear listener. Okay. Mm-hmm. And you don't necessarily have to be on the team for Jesus to answer either. So there's that, because he loves everybody. All right.
That's true. All right. I thought this was a really interesting way of doing a song because, like you said, there's no chorus. And some of it does rhyme, but it didn't even seem like it was necessarily a story. Did you get a story? It seemed like it was just a bunch of random, this is life.
Yeah, it just looks like life in, shout out to Rakuthi. It just looks like life in Texas, I did I was...
Yeah, it could be. I could see people doing that in Texas.
This is all the shit that happens in Texas. But we're watching this show Yellowstone, and it really gave me an appreciation for that culture, man. Like the cowboy culture and the Texan, the hat and the straw in the mouth and all that, and the like, I had so many perceptions and preconceived notions about what people like that were. Now, obviously, Yellowstone is a show, so it's ridiculous for me to say I had so many preconceived notions, and then I watched this Hollywood produced thing, and now but like, the show is cool because they go through these extended, like, nonverbal sequences where you're just watching them do the thing, And it's nonverbal. They're not talking, but everybody knows what to do.
I usually hate nonverbal, but I love it.
And there's some country music in the back, and I'm like, you could tell that the people who write this show and direct it, and the cinematographers, you could tell that they love that culture. They love those people, and they're like, this is why we love it. And you cannot watch that show and not love those people and not appreciate what they've meant for our country. Mm-hmm. It's going to get a little bit, whatever, but like, it's America, man. It's just something uniquely American about that culture. Mm-hmm. I was listening. Somebody was like, he said something about Americans don't have a culture, white people don't have a culture, or something like that. He was a white dude. It was a DevGru guy. I was talking to Sean, and I was like, yeah, but the closest I could come is that, and it's fucking beautiful. I love the hard work. The work ethic is crazy. Mm-hmm. I love the respect between men and women that they have. I love the way the older men and the younger men interact with each other. Like the understanding of the authority and the respect. And it's not like, like it was funny because I was in court today and the judge said something to me. And I said, yeah. And then Yellowstone popped in my head. It's like, what the fuck, man? Mm-hmm. You just sit in a court and say yeah to this fucking judge. And the judge was cool. She was, and I stood up and I said, sorry, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. And I said, yes, ma'am. And it felt good to be like, yo, like, have that
respect for the position.
Not just that's a woman. That's a lady. So you, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Like, give them that. I love the way that honor that's there. And we lost that, man. Like, in this country, like, we've lost it. We don't have any respect for people that are. I just love the fact, they tip their hats to each other. A lady shows up, they take their. I just love that I fell in love with that whole culture watching that show. Mm-hmm. And
yeah, if they land at the dinner table and the guy has his hat on and they take it off, sorry, man. Hat.
Yeah, and like there's so much honor to the woman in that in that culture. So yeah, she was a judge, and I wanted to respect that too. But beyond that, I wanted to have the opportunity because I was raised like that. I was raised like, fuck everybody, New York City, blah. We're black, we don't like white people. You know what I'm saying? It's like yeah, okay, like there's a place for that, so that you don't get taken advantage of or whatever. But what this song and then like the country, like the country music side of it. Like I don't like country at all, but. It's like, okay, now I'm looking at these lyrics, I'm looking at this, and these people are proud of their fucking heritage and they got a little bit of attitude now. Mm-hmm. There's some gangster, like that girl, the girl that's the singer, she's a little bit of a gangster. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, shout out to Yellowstone, shout out to white people. It's like one of 10 times in the thousands of videos you'll ever see me say something like that.
I don't even know what to do right now.
But I love it, man. I love that culture, dude. That culture is beautiful. Shout out to Maria. I've lived nearly my entire life in the rural South, and I would never trade it for anything. Country folk are my favorite people, hands down. They're my favorite group of people for sure. Like that Southern, like. It was just beautiful. And there was something really... When I stood up and said, yes, ma'am, to her...
I've never spent any significant time in the South, so I don't really...
When I was in Texas, I didn't get to spend any time with, like, Texans.
Right.
So... Yeah. It was all,
But you lived in the South. You lived in Florida for a while growing up.
I lived in Florida, but Texas is different.
Yeah, I bet.
Like, Texans... Texans are like their own country. Like, literally, like... You have to be there. Like even groups that are like, you go through the same training, people go through the same selection, but like you run into people from Texas, it's different. It's like it's not different. Like that guy went through the same. Like yeah, it took me 3 months to integrate, and I was more important than them as far as like things that whatever and jobs or whatever. But it's like you came because I had done a year in Lexington. So like, what you doing, man? What's there to do in Lexington? You're looking at, you're spying on, college kids. Get out of here. Like, I'm like, motherfucker, there's a lot of shit that, but anyway, but my point is Texans, like that's their, like, it's a separate country, man. It's a completely separate country to them. Like, people talk about secession, all that shit. Like, they're already seceded in their minds. Like, they're like completely different. Yeah.
The more I heard of
white people in the building,
Texans anywhere and anything about Texas, I slowly began to realize that is like a cult, and all of us are out. The only people that are in are them. That's it. I've wondered if you moved there, if they would accept you in. Or if because you weren't there, like, they're always like, yeah.
Yeah.
He's just like, big hat, no cattle.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I'm listening to this song. But, like, it's all these, like, they're kind of, like, random. You'd love my fiance, Vin. This goth girl went and found herself a cowboy. Hell yeah. Look, Lexington be popping. Yeah, Lexington is absolutely popping. And listen, I'll say this: the University of Kentucky. If I had designs on America, yeah, you're gonna send them to Harvard, Yale, Princeton. But the University of Kentucky is a really good place to send people in if you wanted to do things in America. If you had not so friendly, what I'm saying? It's smart because their tech program is insane, but it's not like big on the map, so it's like perfect, right? So anyway,
makes sense.
So lyrically, this song, I mean, it's just pretty much Americana, right? It's like, he stopped off at Tulsa, popped the knife at the gun place. He got an escape. So this is all the Second Amendment shit. He's got a Desert Eagle. I found the first time I found out about a Desert Eagle, I heard about it in hip hop. Oh, my Desi, blah 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 blah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, coke in the Desi, hit him with the pelly, blah 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 blah. I was like, oh yeah, Desert Eagle. Blah, blah. My friend was like, you didn't know what a Desert Eagle is? I was like, yeah, nigga. He's like, what is it? I had no idea. He's like, come over here, and then he showed me what a Desert Eagle. It's a weapon. It's a very powerful weapon. But yeah, that was the first time, and then my cousin was the first one that showed me what a Tech 9 was. He says it's a hell of a pistol. He says in the thing.
It's a pistol.
Yeah, but It was the biggest pistol I'd ever held in my life at the time. I was like 13, 14 years old. You know what I'm saying?
What?
Yeah, I mean, this is the Bronx. See what I'm saying? So we're all sitting there rapping about Desert Eagles, and Mario was like, "You even know what a Desert Eagle is?" I was like, "Yeah, nigga, I know what a Desert Eagle is. What's wrong with you?" Blah blah blah.
God.
He was like, "Yeah, all right, let's see it."
I'll tell you, I'm so glad you didn't decide to raise Johan in New York. I would not want him in a situation like that. Where a gun is available.
Oh yeah, look.
Or Reza for
I can't listen. The
Some people are just prone to make mistakes.
I cannot tell you.
That's so scary, seeing this gun and knowing that you were holding something like this at 14 or 15.
What do you mean?
I understand, but the culture thing, like...
That's what they say, your heart didn't jam on you, your gun jammed on you. But that's because a lot of these guys who listen to these rappers, like, oh, I got to cop me a Desert Eagle, blah, blah, blah. It's not as reliable as like a Glock or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's, they always... Ugh. But I'm glad. Honestly... I'll probably talk to you offline, but I'm probably still here because of the popularity of the Desert Eagles.
Wow, that's crazy.
Shout out to Biggie Smalls for the assist.
Wow.
Oklahoma will always be above Texas. Yeah, I really like this song, man, because it's like, if you want to know, like, he talks about the drugs, he talks about the moonshine and the meth, which is kind of interesting because, you know, during Prohibition, you had like the moonshine thing, like business took off. And there is sort of analogy between moonshine and methamphetamine in the sense that it's illicit, that you're doing it like outside of the law. But there's an obvious difference between meth and moonshine. But our country at the time, basically, you know, during Prohibition, like there was no alcohol. And so it was like, there's a lot of mafia shit happen, all that. So like, he's just talking about all these different, and then he's talking about like having sex with his second cousins. And as soon as he talked about his cousins, I was like, oh no! Because I had the stereotype in my head. So I was like telling myself like, yo, bro, don't like be so demonstrative because it's such a terrible stereotype. And then the next line is like, man, I don't care if we're related. I'm going to knock out these two. He said he wanted to get between them is what he said.
I thought he meant he wanted to sit between them with a heart. I didn't realize he wanted to.
Okay, I'm going to pull up the lyrics and I will let the listener decide, okay?
I just thought and I even had a problem with him doing that.
He says, Ruth Ann and Lynn, they wear them cut off breeches and those skinny little halters and they're second cousins to me. Man, I don't care. I want to get between them. With a great big old heart on like an old boy did a fence post. I don't know what that is. But yeah, he didn't care. Choctaw Bingo by James W. Tell the truth. We was using Uzis before. I wasn't using. Oh yeah, till the cows come home. I wasn't using Uzis or anything like that. Like Applejack was a real life gangster. I was just afraid. So I was, you know, I had shit on me, but it was because I was afraid. These guys were like actual like gangsters. You know what I'm saying? Okay, well, this song's getting a 9.7 for me.
Yeah. You had said like a minute ago something about like them doing a comparison where from like the lesser to the greater. What was it?
Say again.
You were saying something about them like comparing two things and one was much worse than the other.
Meth versus moonshine.
Right. And then did you notice over here when it says strap them kids in, give them a little vodka, and then at the end it's saying give them some Benadryl. Obviously, if you're going to give a kid Benadryl, that's a lot worse than vodka. But maybe I don't know. I'm not sure. I feel a little uncomfortable that they put that in. So,
Bodark is a kind of wood supposedly the hardest wood found in the U.S. Well, there he goes.
Ew.
So his cousins. That's why I was like, yo, don't do it, Vinny, don't do it. That's what I thought. I was like, don't do it. You're going into a stereotype. I don't know how real that stereotype is, man. I don't know how real that stereotype is. What do you? This is such a terrible conversation, but we're gonna end this here. What's kosher to you? Third cousin?
Oh my God!
I feel honestly, like Maine, the population is so small in this state that I feel like we know people who are second cousins.
I know.
You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
And they're like perfect for each other.
Yeah, I think that.
And they're.
If somebody said, "Hey, here's Vinny. This is your third cousin," well. Honestly, though, if it was you, I'd be like, "There's enough separation." Clearly.
Yeah.
But let's say that I was brown like you, and they told me that you were my third cousin in the introduction. Then it's not going to go somewhere from there. But like, if I met you and we were spending weeks together and music and all these different things, and then we ended up finding out that you were my third cousin, I think I'd roll the dice.
I mean.
Like a third cousin is pretty far removed.
I mean, relationship-wise, there's certain moments when you've hit an event horizon to where things become irreversible. You know what I'm saying? So, and especially knowing you, that line would have been crossed pretty quickly.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So,
anyway, what did you give the song?
Yeah, see, Applejack is like me. Third cousin's still too close to me.
I agree.
Fourth cousin.
That's why I said if you come up to me,
fourth cousin, I'm like, man, that's y'all
if you're like, oh, you guys are third cousins, no, nothing's gonna come of it. But if I've already spent time around you and we're already like building something and blah 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 blah, and then I find out third cousins, I'm gonna justify that shit because I want to be with you. But if it was some like but that it's so unreal.
Jesus. That's so terrible. Yeah, that guy was on Soft White Underbelly. I couldn't even watch the show. I couldn't even watch it. All right, I love this song, man. I love this song. This is my white people song. I'm gonna put this on my thing. The next time,
if you want to listen to white people music, you should just sit down and listen to country music with me.
No. The next time, like one of them kills us something on camera, I'm gonna fucking listen to this thing. Like, all right, chill out, bro, chill out.
Yeah, you'll be all calm, then you'll be like, wait, you were trying to, you're cut. I'm mad again.
9.8. What do you give it?
I'll give it a 8.9.
All right, we are returning, dear listener, on the other side of the commercial.
Okay, as you guys know, we're gonna do the March Madness
I want to do the March Madness during the.
You can do whenever you want. We're
during
gonna do
the Black Sabbath thing, so that it'll get the most.
It'll get the most
bang for its
okay,
buck.
good idea.
Yeah,
we'll be right back.
Then out.
Sorry, out.
Go. You need a white people playlist.
I have a whole white list. I have a whole list for you.
I don't like the shit that you listen to though. It doesn't even seem like real country to me. Like the country that you hear in Yellowstone is different from the country that you listen to. The country you listen to is like
pop
like
country.
radio shit.
Pop country, yeah.
Like I want to feel like I'm in the fucking barn with Rip and them. Shout out to my man Rip. Gang shit. All right, we shall return. Turn.